Footballers may soar to fame and fortune, but many crash just as quickly, undone by mismanagement, scandal, or sheer bad luck. Glory on the pitch doesn't always secure life off it. Paul Pogba's story is a poignant reminder of those blurred lines between personal triumph and professional turmoil. Once celebrated worldwide after winning the 2018 World Cup with France, he was hailed as a global superstar. His skill, charisma, and playful personality made him one of football's most recognizable figures. Fans adored him, sponsors chased him, and clubs spent fortunes to sign him. Yet success on the pitch could not shield him from betrayal and controversy. His own elder brother, Matthias Pogba, became entangled in a shocking scandal. Once part of Paul's inner circle, Matthias attempted to extort millions from him by exploiting the bond they shared as family. When Paul refused to comply with the demands, his brother retaliated by accusing him of engaging in witchcraft to sabotage teammates. These claims spread like wildfire across the media, creating whispers of division in the French national squad and placing Pogba in an impossible position. A career built on teamwork and trust suddenly seemed overshadowed by suspicion and betrayal. The blows did not stop there. Away from family disputes, Pogba faced another challenge when he was handed a 4-year ban after failing a doping test during his second spell at Juventus. For a player whose career once sparkled with trophies and global attention, the punishment threatened not only his livelihood, but also his reputation. Footballers depend on their image as much as their skills, and the stain of scandal is not easily washed away. The combination of familial betrayal and professional setbacks weighed heavily on him, leaving scars that extended far beyond the football pitch. Pogba's story is a sobering reminder that fame and talent cannot always shield a player from the destructive forces of mistrust, misfortune, and controversy. The sad downfall of Ronaldinho stands in contrast, and his story still fascinates the football world. Ronaldinho was a complete package of joy on the pitch. With his dazzling dribbles, infectious smile, and unrivaled creativity, he won the hearts of millions. At his peak, he was not just a player, but a magician, a showman who made football look effortless. He earned millions from lucrative endorsements, sponsorships, and his spellbinding performances for Barcelona and Brazil. Yet behind the dazzling exterior was a lifestyle that spiraled out of control. Ronaldinho embraced extravagant partying, maintained multiple relationships, and spent lavishly without thought of tomorrow. The financial empire he built began to erode. Tax evasion cases in Brazil added to his troubles, and soon the fortune he had earned through brilliance began to vanish. Friends and associates who once surrounded him began to disappear, leaving him increasingly isolated and vulnerable to poor decisions. The most shocking chapter came in 2020, when Ronaldinho was arrested in Paraguay for attempting to enter the country with a fake passport. For months, the world watched in disbelief as one of football's most beloved icons sat behind bars. Though he eventually secured release through an expensive plea deal, the damage to his reputation and finances was immense. His once celebrated name became associated with scandal rather than pure artistry on the pitch. Ronaldinho's story is a painful example of how neglecting legal and financial responsibilities, paired with reckless personal choices, can rapidly dismantle even the brightest careers. Similarly, Ryan Giggs, long revered for his legendary career at Manchester United, found his personal life unraveling in a scandal that shocked fans and tarnished decades of achievement. On the pitch, Giggs was the epitome of loyalty and consistency, winning countless trophies and etching his name into football history. Off the pitch, however, he became entangled in an 8-year affair with his brother's wife. The secrecy surrounding the affair, compounded by multiple undisclosed relationships, shattered his family bonds and brought pain to those closest to him. When the story became public, the revelation overshadowed his career accomplishments, sparking widespread disappointment among supporters who once idolized him. Giggs' fall reveals a different kind of danger athletes face. Unlike financial mismanagement or legal troubles, his downfall stemmed from personal lapses in judgment and the inability to separate fame from responsibility. The scandal revealed how even private decisions can carry devastating public consequences, showing that scrutiny never truly ends for global icons. In Giggs' case, the affair did not simply tarnish his reputation, it permanently altered his legacy and became a cautionary tale. It proved that no matter how successful or disciplined a career may seem, the the choices made off the pitch can erode respect and admiration earned over decades. Financial betrayal within families has destroyed the lives of many footballers, as seen in Emmanuel Eboué's tragic downfall. Once a defender at Arsenal and Galatasaray, Eboué amassed millions during his career. Known for his tireless energy on the field, he built what seemed a secure financial future, yet his trust in those closest to him proved his undoing. He relied heavily on his wife to manage his finances, but during their bitter divorce, she exploited him, coercing him into signing over his properties and assets. The result was devastating. Eboué lost nearly everything. The collapse triggered deep depression. At one point, the former Premier League star was reportedly homeless, unable to provide for himself, and even contemplating suicide. His story shows how vulnerability, misplaced trust, and lack of financial oversight can erase the rewards of years of hard work. Eboué's descent from professional success to poverty underscores the need for independence, financial literacy, and caution even within families. Dani Alves' case adds another painful dimension to football's darker side. Known for his charisma, leadership, and record-breaking 43 titles, Alves was admired worldwide. Yet in 2023, he was convicted of sexual assault and his career collapsed overnight. Once celebrated as one of the greatest fullbacks in history, he lost lucrative endorsement deals, including his contract with Adidas. His club, Unam Pumas, swiftly terminated his deal and demanded compensation. The scandal marked an irreversible decline. Legal battles drained his wealth, and his image as a respected professional crumbled. His downfall is a stark reminder that off-field behavior can destroy a career instantly. Years of dedication and success can vanish in moments when personal responsibility is abandoned. Alves' story illustrates that fame cannot shield players from accountability, and that actions off the pitch can undo decades of achievement. Perhaps the most heartbreaking downfall in football is that of Diego Maradona. Universally regarded as one of the greatest to ever play the game, Maradona inspired Argentina to World Cup glory in 1986 and dazzled millions with his unmatched talent. Yet his career and life were plagued by cocaine addiction, which began during his time at Barcelona and worsened over the years. Addiction led to multiple suspensions, erratic behavior, and the slow deterioration of his health and career. Maradona's financial collapse mirrored his personal struggles. Though he earned hundreds of millions, his generosity, poor money management, and legal troubles left him with little at the end. Reports suggested that when he died in 2020, only about 75,000 euros remained of his once enormous fortune. For a man who once ruled the world of football, it was a tragic ending. His life warns of the destructive power of addiction and the dangers of misplaced trust, proving that wealth alone does not guarantee stability or peace of mind. Wes Brown's experience, though less dramatic, offers another perspective on financial ruin. A loyal Manchester United player, Brown never earned the superstar wages of teammates like Cristiano Ronaldo, but he still accumulated millions. Unfortunately, he indulged in a lifestyle inspired by wealthier peers. He purchased a farm at an inflated price, only to find it nearly impossible to sell later. Meanwhile, his wife's excessive spending added further strain, and when their costly divorce was finalized, his finances were drained. Brown eventually declared bankruptcy, a painful outcome for someone who had once enjoyed a steady career. His story shows the dangers of living beyond one's means and succumbing to peer pressure. It underlines that even moderate wealth requires discipline, and that imitating the lavish lifestyles of others without equal resources can lead to ruin. Craig Bellamy's downfall followed a different but equally devastating path. Known for his fiery personality and sharp instincts on the pitch, Bellamy had little interest in financial matters. He entrusted friends and advisors with his fortune, only to discover many had exploited him. Poor investments, mismanagement, and betrayal gradually consumed his wealth. Despite playing for top clubs and earning millions, Bellamy was left penniless. To rebuild, he turned to coaching, finding a new purpose. Yet his journey remains a painful warning. Money left unchecked can vanish quickly, and blind trust in others often leads to exploitation. Bellamy's story highlights the importance of active financial oversight and personal responsibility. Helain, also known as Drena, was once tipped for greatness. Having trained alongside Cristiano Ronaldo, he possessed immense potential, but personal choices proved costly. Helain became distracted by relationships and fathered multiple children at a young age, placing heavy financial and emotional burdens on himself. Indiscipline off the pitch affected his focus, while obligations mounted. By 2020, he was declared bankrupt, his career fading prematurely. Helain's story illustrates the dangers of poor self-control and lack of planning. Talent alone cannot sustain a career if personal commitments overwhelm professional responsibilities. His struggles show how personal life and financial stability are inseparably linked in shaping long-term long-term success. Wilson Oruma's case may be the most tragic in terms of betrayal. A disciplined saver during his playing career, Oruma amassed a fortune, only to lose nearly $13 million to fraudulent pastors and relatives who lured him into schemes that turned out to be scams. The betrayal not only destroyed his finances, but also shattered his mental health. Isolated and devastated, he struggled with depression and was left battling trauma that overshadowed his once bright legacy. His friends and former teammates spoke of his heartbreaking condition, while some shared their concerns on social media. This shows how greed and manipulation can break even the strongest spirits. Oruma's ordeal is a painful reminder that even those who act responsibly are not immune to exploitation when trust is misplaced, and it emphasizes the urgent need for financial literacy, accountability, and genuine support systems for athletes after retirement. Footballers' post-career struggles reveal a hidden fragility often masked by fame and fortune. From betrayal and reckless spending to legal troubles and addiction, their stories show that true success requires wisdom and resilience off the pitch as much as brilliance on it. Anyway, that's it for this video. We'd love to know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more updates. Bye!